I'm Sha'Nautica Nuness. This fall, fellow Johnson C. Smith University student Miquel and I had the time of our lives at the Z-Max Dragway with the STEAM Sports Foundation. We explored how this incredible organization is opening doors for women of color in engineering, inspiring the next generation of trailblazers in motorsports.
A year ago, HBCUGO.TV chronicled the STEAM Sports Foundation's 3-day immersion tour right here in Charlotte, producing an award-winning mini-documentary that highlighted the next generation of innovators. This year, the foundation is taking the same mission to new heights.
Now we're exploring the impact and importance of this opportunity for young women who could one day become pioneering engineers, designers, and leaders within the motorsports industry.
Exactly is the STEAM Sports Foundation, and what exactly does it do for the community?
STEAM Sports Foundation is about 10 years old. We originally started as an events company trying to do career development for marginalized students, specifically with a STEM type of background. And then when the pandemic hit, we had to pivot to scholarships because we couldn't do events anymore. And over the last 5 years, we have given 17 scholarships to 14 different women who are primarily rising juniors or rising seniors studying engineering who want to have careers in either automotive or motorsports engineering. We have the opportunity for them to create mentorships, and that's really important. We had a session last night after we were done with the track with two amazing women who are in the profession here in Charlotte, who really kind of walked them through how important mentoring was.
Where do you go to school?
I go to Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
And what brings you to the STEM Foundation?
I really fell in love with motorsports through movies like Fast and Furious. So I tried to find connections like out in the real world for scholarships and places that would take me to events such as this where we get to see motorsports in real life.
What do you want to get from this experience?
I want to make sure that my plan in life is what I really want, to see the reality of motorsports and the inside and the background of it. And I hope to connect with many more motorsports women in STEM and people working with the automotive industry so I can connect with them later on.
And what do you want to take back from this experience to your HBCU?
I'm going to take back connecting with people outside of my HBCU. I never would have found Bob if he wasn't looking for me, and seeing connections that want my people and for what we can do instead of trying to force ourselves with the places that are welcome.
Najat, what brought you to the STEM Foundation?
Honestly, since I'm chemical engineering, it is such a broad major to have. So what made me come to STEAM is because I've heard about Hendrick Motorsports. And from me doing my research on that, I ended up finding STEAM Motorsport Foundation. And I really was interested in it because I love how it taps into the reality, because I feel like it's so easy to see on websites and social media, like, oh, this is how the field is, this is what it is, but it's different when you get to see it one-on-one and in person. It's truly a different experience, and that is something that I really love about this, is that you get to see the reality, you get to talk to actual people who are in the position, not just emails or hearing from a third party. It's hands-on, face-to-face. So
what do you want to bring back to your school when you leave from here?
One thing I want to bring back to my school is to branch out and really experience, because again, like I was saying earlier, it's so easy to look at things from websites and talk about other people's experience. So put yourself in different experiences. Even if people aren't looking into motorsport or whatever, I feel like experience, perspective, and knowledge is everything, especially when it comes into the engineering field. You need to have such a diverse mentality. So that is something I'll most definitely take away, because going to HBCU, everybody is together. Everybody, there's 7 of us in the classroom, so we're all together. But I feel like experience is something that we most definitely need.
And how does going to a HBCU make this so significant for you?
Going to HBCU makes this significant to me is because you've heard, we're always taught the statistics about women and, minorities when it comes to a field like this. So going to HBCU and coming here is you see like it's possible, like you see it's reality, and it makes you even more, well, it makes me at least even more courageous to take that step farther, because at my HBCU, they teach us, yeah, you have to do the work, but you're gonna have to do the work 10 times more. So being here, it most definitely makes me want to do the work 10 times more, absolutely.
Brought you to the STEAM Foundation?
I actually met Bob at the Women with Drive Summit in December, and we connected. I reached out to him later, and then he encouraged me to apply to the scholarship.
How do you plan to implement the STEAM Foundation and what it supports in the future?
I plan on taking all of the skills and values I learned from this trip back to Purdue and back to my student organizations. I have a Women in Motorsports organization back at Purdue, and I hope to implement all the good things I learned on this trip for improving the club.
What brought you to the STEAM Foundation?
I had a mentor that sent me the scholarship, and I just kind of applied for it, honestly. Okay. I found out about it through General Motors, where I have a co-op, so.
How do you plan to implement the STEAM Foundation in the future?
I plan on using the connections that I made during here. I've been lucky to connect with like wonderful people, such as like Tay, who I mean later, like actually yesterday, and a bunch of other women, someone who work in Hendrick Motorsports as well. So I plan on using the connections and also the information that I've learned from those women to figure out what I want to do in the future, because I'm still kind of early on in my career.
Woof. My ears are still ringing from all that action. It was an incredible experience at the ZMAX Dragway, seeing how the STEAM Sports Foundation is paving new lanes for women in motorsports.